the Pima County Board of Adjustment, District 1 meeting of August 2nd. And if you would, I have a small flag on my desk, and I am going to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag, States of America,
States of America,
to the republic for which
it stands,
nation under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Would the recording secretary read the roll call, please?
Sure, Mr. Chair. Mr. Richard Green?
Present.
Mr. Bruce Call?
Present.
Mr. George Carroll? And Chair Lynn Wildblood.
Present.
Mr. Chair, let the record show that Mr. Carroll is absent.
So be it. Would the recording secretary please read the first case description?
Sure, Mr. Chair, that's case P21VA00010, Catalina Foothills Church PCA, East Orange Grove Road. Catalina Foothills Church PCA, represented by Addisons Incorporated, on property located at 2150 East Orange Grove Road in the CR1 single residence zone, requests the following variances. 1, to increase the freestanding sign area to 50 square feet. Section 1879080D3A of the Pima County Zoning Code restricts sign area to 32 square feet. 2, to increase the freestanding sign height to 8 and 10 feet. Section 1879080D4 of the Pima County Zoning Code restricts sign height to 6 feet. And 3, to increase the wall sign area to 114.71 square feet. Sections 1879080H3 of the Pima County Zoning Code restricts sign area to 30 square feet. Let's see. Tom, do you want to?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I can give an overview of how we got here, if that works. This case was heard last month at the July hearing date. At the hearing, the case was continued to the August 2nd date. To date, we have received the continuance request from the church's representative. Staff has also chimed in and is supportive of a 60-day continuance. As the board can probably tell, there's been an enormous amount of public comment on this case. And so staff is supportive of a 60-day continuance to the October hearing date, where the case should be heard at that time. And that kind of concludes our comments. We can comment specifically on any questions that the board has or any other items.
As the board, I understand we will need a motion to be able to accept this continuance, but do the board members have any questions of staff at this time? Mr. Cole?
I was wondering if the height of the sign has been measured. This has been an item we've discussed at various times in the past. Is it being measured from the ground level on which the sign is placed, the ground level at the edge of the street, or the ground level at the center of the street?
Mr. Chair, board members, the height of the sign is measured from the crown of the roadway adjacent to where the sign is, if the sign is located below the crown of the road. If not, it's measured at the base of the sign.
Okay. In this case, what is the variance specifically related then to, are we above the crown of the road or are we below the crown of the road?
Mr. Chair, I believe that the sign is either at or below the crown of the roadway. So the height should be measured from the crown of the roadway.
And then, of course, that is the basis then for the request?
That is my understanding of the request, correct. And so that becomes problematic in the real environment where we're approving a sign at a particular location when the actual height could be substantially above that. In the past, the board has conditioned signs to an overall height that incorporates the crown of the road and limits them to so much of a height maximum from where the sign is actually located. So the board has done that in cases in the past.
Okay. Then the second question that I have is with regards to the area of the sign. Is that the area of the written and or logo only, or does that include an area beyond that? What is specifically the part that they're requesting?
Mr. Chair, we incorporate the sign area as the delineated area. So that would incorporate any area and incorporate the background area that's associated with the sign. And that would go for the sign on the building or any freestanding identification sign.
Okay, thank you.
This is Chairman Wildwood. It's my understanding that in the process of part of doing this continuance is that there will be some design changes. So going forward, if we vote to extend or continue this until the October meeting, is this going to be a whole new plan?
Mr. Chair, board members, I'm not sure that staff can answer that directly. Given the feedback that we've received, there's obviously been a substantial amount of public comment. A lot of those comments talk about outdoor lighting code requirements and things like that. They do talk about the signage. And so it's important for staff to kind of comment that the outdoor lighting code is going to apply on this sign. Nothing more restrictive than the outdoor lighting code can be applied unless a variance is granted. So if there were comments about having the sign shut off at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, those could only be conditioned as part of a variance approval. And if a variance is not approved, then they're going to meet the standards of the code, and that includes all aspects of the outdoor lighting code. So staff, the board, they don't have the ability to change or make the outdoor lighting code less effective, and that's one of the important things to comment. The other comment I'll make is I would expect modifications to the sign should a new proposal come forward. Given the amount of input from neighbors, adjustments that would seem appropriate. And while staff would most likely be supportive of some changes, we would expect, given the neighbors' overwhelming concerns with the current version, that modifications would need to be made.
Very good. Somebody in the background is either doing dishes, something. They would mute their phone. It would certainly help everybody else. Mr. Green, do you have any comments, please?
Mr. Chair, I do not. Thank you.
All right, at this point in time, there'll be no public comment, and we will just vote, make a motion to accept the requirement for a continuance. Can I hear a motion to that effect from one of the board members?
I so move to accept the requested continuance.
And I second.
All right, so Mr. Cole, that's the continuance of PB 21VA00010, Catalina Foothills Church, PCA, Orange Grove Road, to grant the continuance till October 4th. Is that correct in your motion?
The request for the continuance to, yes, that is in my motion, the continuance as requested by the applicant.
Right, with the secretary, it has been moved and seconded to grant a continuance. Would the secretary do a roll call vote, please?
Sure, Mr. Chair. This is for approval of the continuance request to the October 4th hearing date for the Board of Adjustment District 1. Mr. Richard Green.
Approve.
Mr. Bruce Cole.
Approve.
And Chair Lynn Wildwood.
Approved.
Mr. Chair, with a vote of 3-0, the case has been continued to October 4th.
As a matter of concern for all those who are in attendance or listening at this point in time, it is my understanding that you are going to have a Zoom meeting on this proposal with its changes, and I would urge both sides, both for and against this variance, to objectively look at it and consider exactly what is being said. With that, staff, do we have any other business?
Mr. Chair, just one last comment. I don't believe there's any more cases on the agenda today, but as the board realizes, I just want to make sure all the interested parties understand that this was a date-specific continuance to October 4th at 1 p.m. The format will be the exact same format we're having right now. It'll be on this phone number at this extension. If there's any changes or there's an in-person aspect or anything else changes, that information will be properly noted. So I just want to make sure everyone who's on the phone understands that. So this number, this access code, if there's any changes, notices and posting of the property will occur.
I would ask staff, is there anything on the agenda for next month?
No, Mr. Chair, there's no new items for the Board of Adjustment District 1.
Well, if that's the case, I will entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
This is Bruce Call. I move to adjourn this meeting.
Do I hear a second?
Second?
Mr. Green, second?
Yep.
I will say that the meeting is now adjourned.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, staff.
Everybody.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.